हम बोलेंगे तो वो दूसरा ड्राइवर भेजेगा तो मैडम की
sector of economy requires efficient management of financial resources and other optimal utilization within a robust financial planning framework. The Finance Division of the Ministry of Defense, dealing with the matters having financial implications in the Ministry of Defense, plays an important role in efficient management of resources. The division is headed by Financial Advisor Defense Services. I now invite Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor Defense Services, Ministry of Defense, Government of India, to deliver the welcome address. Defense finance endeavors at optimizing resource utilization aligned with the goals of national security through outcome-based expenditure management, underpinning the architecture of defense finance and economics in the country. The Finance Defense Division, headed by the Financial Advisor Defense Services, is fully integrated with the Ministry of Defense. To the Office of Controller General of Defense Accounts, led by officers from India Defense Account Service, it is also responsible for ensuring proper payment and accounting, internal audit and financial advice for various services and organizations under the Ministry of Defense. And now we present before you a short video on the Ministry of Defense Finance and Defense Accounts Department. Can we play the video, please?
The Finance Division in the Ministry of Defense, abbreviated as MOD Finance, is at the locus of all decisions having any financial implication and coordinates the expenditure management of India's defense budget and finance. MOD Finance is responsible for providing professional and holistic financial advice in all defense matters having a financial bearing. Acting as the integrated finance for Ministry of Defense, it assists in the formulation and implementation of all proposals involving expenditure of the armed forces and associated organizations across India, such as the DRDO, Indian Coast Guard, and the Border Roads Organization. The Defense Accounts Department functions under the administrative control of Ministry of Defense Finance and is headed by Controller General of Defense Accounts, or CGDA. Various field offices of the CGDA, such as the Controllers of Defense Accounts and Integrated Financial Advisors, and pay responsible for SPARSH, the System for Pension Administration Raksha, which is one of the world's largest web-based defense pensions management systems and currently caters to over 2.1 million defense pensioners.
तो मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस फाइनेंस तथा सीजीडीए का डिफेंस सर्विसेज इस सभी फाइनेंशियल गतिविधियों में इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहता है। इसलिए मैं खास तौर पर यह बताना चाहता हूं कि डिपार्टमेंट ने जिस हार्मनी तथा सिनर्जी के साथ सर्विसेज की बदलती जरूरतों को पूरा करने में एफिशिएंसी अपनी सक्षमता हासिल की है तथा नई चुनौतियों का सामना करने के लिए विलिंगनेस तथा रेडीनेस प्रदर्शित किया है, उसकी मैं जीतन से सराहना करूंगा।
Through enhanced budgetary support over the years, the government has placed modernization and infrastructure development of the armed forces at the center stage of the national security and defense planning process. Towards that end, strategic and operational outlay has been increased significantly in the Union budget of 2023-24 by nearly 44%, and this expenditure is expected to close critical gaps in the combat capabilities and equip the forces in terms of ammunition, sustenance of weapons and assets, military reserves, and more. This budget has also sustained the thrust on Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India by continuing an upward trend in capital outlay. MOD Finance is driving towards the optimization of available resources by generating fiscal space within existing budgetary allocations through jointness, inter-service prioritization, and emphasis on holistic defense planning. 5.94 lakh crore rupees or 72.54 billion US dollars. This is the defense budget of India, which is being managed by the Ministry of Defense Finance through the Defense Accounts Department. Every dollar securing a vibrant nation, every rupee building a foundation for an aspirational India. The Ministry of Defense Finance remains committed to a common goal of a strong nation, with an equal emphasis on weapon and welfare. Jai Hind.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have amongst us today Honorable Raksha Mantri, the Defense Minister, Shri Rajnath Singh Ji. The Honorable RM has time and again reaffirmed India's stand for a rule-based international order in which the primordial instinct of the might being right is replaced by the civilizational concept of fairness, cooperation, respect, and equality amongst all sovereign nations. This international conference is one such initiative in fostering cooperation amongst nations. And I now have the privilege of requesting the Honorable Raksha Mantri to guide us with his inspirational address. I now request Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor, Defense Services, to present a token of our gratitude to the Honorable Raksha Mantri. Sapna ma'am. Yeah, of course I am thanking all that. Ma'am, she's coming from that side or this side? Okay. Sir, आप tall हैं, she is not that tall, sir. Sir, you are tall, she is not as tall. I said, sir is tall, but she is not as tall, no? Front से. पहले मैंने नगमा बैक इसलिए बोला था कि मुझे लग रहा था तुम लोग उधर से आ रहे हो. Yes, ma'am. देना है और वापस भी लेना है. No, ma'am. One by one. Can we get the... मैम आपको मैम को इसीलिए मैंने रिक्वेस्ट इसीलिए आपको यहाँ ठीक है. Ready? Nagma, ready? Ready? I now request Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor, Defence Services, to present a token of her gratitude to Honorable Raksha Mantri. Ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement. RMSO security needs all of us to vacate the hall now. I request everybody to move towards the Friendship Lounge. They need to do a security check. Everybody is requested to move towards the Friendship Lounge. It will just take about 15 to 20 minutes. We can be back after the security check is done. Once again requesting everybody to vacate the hall, move towards Friendship Lounge.
ऐसी हमारे सरोद के बोल हैं दिल दाड़ा दाड़ा दा दिल दाड़ा दाड़ा तो ये बंदिश हंस ध्वनि की एक ताले में दिल दाड़ा 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 दिल दाड़ा
I now request Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor, Defence Services. I now request Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor, Defence Services, to present a token of gratitude to the Honourable Raksha Mantri. I request FADS to also felicitate other respected guests. We present a memento to Jan Anil Chauhan, PVSM, UYSM, AVSM, SM, VSM, Chief of Defence Staff. Chief of Defence. We now present to General Manoj Pandey, Chief of Army Staff. Thank you, ma'am, for doing the honours. I would now request Sri Praveen Kumar, Additional CGDA, to kindly do the honours of presenting a token of gratitude to Admiral R. Hari Kumar, Chief of Naval Staff. We now present to Dr. Sameer V. Kamath, Secretary R&D, Government of India. I now request Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor, Defence Services, to present a token of our gratitude to Honourable Raksha Mantri. Ma'am, there's not enough space for one girl to move out and another to come in. Same कर दीजिए. सर नीचे मैम नीचे से बहुत डिफिकल्ट हो. Ma'am, the same girl only gives and same girl takes it back. I now request Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor, Defence Services, to present a token of our gratitude to Honourable Raksha Mantri. We now request ma'am to present to General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Defence Staff. We will request you, ma'am, to present a token of gratitude to General Manoj Pandey, Chief of Army Staff. Sir, RM. Sir, first RM, ma'am. CDS को भी ma'am. CDS. I now request Shri Praveen Kumar, additional CGDA, to present to Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey. I request Shri Praveen Kumarji to also felicitate Chief of Naval Staff, Admiral R. Hari Kumar. Hari Kumar is not from CNS. I request FADS to felicitate Dr. Sameer V. Kamath and requesting Shri Praveen Kumar to felicitate Shri Vijay Kumar Singh. So this order is final. I would like to invite Shri Praveen Kumar, additional CGDA, to bring the inaugural session to conclusion with words of thanks. And now invite everybody, our dignitaries on the dais, for a group photograph, which is organized outside in the welcome foyer. Okay. Along with all our eminent keynote speakers, I would now request our distinguished dignitaries on the stage, along with our eminent keynote speakers and eminent panelists, to kindly join outside for the group photograph, which is being organized at the welcome foyer. And everybody else, I request all our distinguished participants to join us for lunch, which is served at the opposite end in the Friendship Lounge. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to begin with session 1. May I invite on stage our distinguished keynote speaker, General Anil Chauhan, PVSM, UYSM, AVSM, SM, VSM, Chief of Defence Staff. I just said that, ma'am. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are now going to begin with the proceedings of our Session 1, Defence Strategies and Economics. And I have the proud privilege in inviting on stage our distinguished keynote speaker, General Anil Chauhan, PVSM, UYSM, AVSM, SM, VSM, Chief of Defence Staff. I also invite our eminent panelists for this session, Dr. Sataru Nagao, Fellow Non-Resident, Hudson Institute, Tokyo, Lieutenant General Retired Sanjay Kulkarni, PVSM, AVSM, SC, SM, VSM. And joining us on the virtual mode in this session is Dr. Lucy Birod Sidru, Director and Senior Researcher, CIPRI, USA. Sorry, ma'am? Yes, ma'am. And also inviting the session coordinator, Dr. Mayank Sharma, IDAS, Principal IFA, Navy, New Delhi. Namaskar and good morning. Distinguished keynote speaker, eminent panelists, session coordinator, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to Business Session 1 on the topic Defence Strategies and Economics. The time duration for this session is 1 hour 30 minutes, which includes the keynote address, presentation of papers, along with panel discussion for 40 minutes, open house and summing up by the session coordinator, followed by a photo opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have the esteemed presence of keynote speaker, General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Defence Staff, and I have the proud privilege of introducing our keynote speaker. She won't be there. She's joining us on a virtual mode, no?
हेलो मैम, हम अपना बोल दें, बीच में बता दें आपको? हाँ ठीक। नाम तो लेंगे मैम पैनलिस्ट का। हाँ, एक एक करके बोलते रहेंगे, वो आते रहेंगे। मैम ये बताइए जो पैनलिस्ट पहला सेशन only three. One is a keynote speaker and two others. हाँ तो two है ना keynote speaker. तीन थे पैनल, एक का कंफर्म नहीं है, दो का है. मैम एक बार
Ladies and gentlemen, now we are ready to go ahead with the proceedings of Session 1 on Defense Strategies and Economics. And I have the proud privilege in inviting on stage our distinguished keynote speaker, General Anil Chauhan, PVSM, UYSM, AVSM, SM, VSM, Chief of Defense Staff. I also invite our eminent panelists to join us on the stage. I invite Dr. Satoru Nagao, Fellow Non-Resident, Hudson Institute, Tokyo. I invite Lieutenant General Retired Sanjay Kulkarni, PVSM, AVSM, SC, SM, VSM. And I also invite our distinguished session coordinator, Dr. Mayank Sharma, IDAS Principal IFA, Navy, New Delhi. Then I say, and ladies and gentlemen, our eminent panelists, so-and-so is joining us on a virtual mode. Yes, ma'am, they will be on screen. This is post-lunch session, ma'am. We have enough time to.
Hello. Bol de, ma'am. I express my gratitude to the keynote speaker and the distinguished panelists who have provided deep insights on issues relating to defense strategies and economics. We are indeed delighted to have the presence of a enlightened audience, including officers from the Indian Defense Account Service, foreign embassies, foreign delegates, 3 services, MPIDSA, and other persons who have immense experience in their respective fields. Their questions and answers to the panelists would provide immense contribution to the proceedings of this session and the seminar. I now request for questions from the audience. Please specify the speaker to whom the question is addressed.
Also to identify yourself.
Please identify yourself with your name and designation, and please specify the speaker to whom the question is addressed.
That's it, ma'am. Done? Done, ma'am?
That's it.
Ma'am, after the second panelist has given his address. Then again I come back after he's closed, you would say, sir, now we close the... फिर तो मैं end में ही आऊँगी once you close the open house. Yes, sum it up, and after you're summing up, vote of thanks हर session में नहीं है sir. आपके summing up only, summing up में included है. हाँ, memento के लिए I'll come back, ma'am. And then for the photo opportunity, I'll request everybody to step forward. Thank you very much indeed, sir. I would now request our session coordinator, Dr. Mayank Sharma, to do the honors of presenting a memento as a token of gratitude and appreciation to our distinguished keynote speaker, General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Defense Staff. We now present to our eminent panelists, Dr. Satoru Nagao, and to Lieutenant General Retired Sanjay Kulkarni. Ladies and gentlemen, once again thanking our distinguished keynote speaker and our eminent panelist, we close the proceedings of this session, inviting everybody to kindly step forward for a photo opportunity.
Good morning. All license officers are requested to come to the right of the stage, please. All license officers or LELOs are requested to come to the right of the stage, please.
आपने तो बहुत अच्छा
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I have your kind attention? May I request everyone to kindly be seated inside the hall as soon as possible. I also request for all mobile phones to be either switched off or put onto silent mode from now onwards, please. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your kind attention? Requesting everyone to kindly settle down. Everybody to kindly settle down with all mobile phones either switched off or put on to silent mode. Requesting everyone to be seated, please. want to have a photo?
Can you give us for 2 minutes?
Sir, very precious for me, but you can.
We understand. Equally precious for us also.
हम इसीलिए मैं दोनों आए हैं कि
मैं
लेके
नॉर्मली अपने पेपर्स किसी को देती नहीं हूँ, but आप दे दीजिए।
नंबरिंग
हाँ, नंबरिंग कर दीजिए, ऊपर या नीचे करिए।
हर सेशन रखेंगे, उससे कोऑर्डिनेशन होता है।
ये मैंने हैंड रिटन कर लिया था सर।
ठीक, मतलब 2 मिनट हम दोनों ला रहे हैं, हमारी जरूरत है।
Ladies and gentlemen, once again requesting everyone to kindly settle down. May I have little more volume on the podium mic, please? Ladies and gentlemen, requesting everyone to kindly settle down. Kindly take your seats. Be seated with all mobile phones either switched off or put on to silent mode. Thank you. Once again requesting everyone to kindly settle down as soon as possible. The Honorable Raksha Mantri will be joining us shortly. Ladies and gentlemen, may I kindly request everyone to be settled. May I also request for all mobile phones to be put onto silent mode. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Raksha Mantri will be here with us in a short while. We would request everyone to kindly settle down. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone to be seated, please.
इसीलिए नंबरिंग नीचे एक और है।
ये तो ऐसे कॉपी है। Ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome to all our distinguished guests. We would request everyone to kindly be seated. We request everyone to take their seats along with switching off or putting on their mobile phones onto the silent mode. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, once again requesting everyone to kindly be seated. We request everyone to kindly take their seats. Ladies and gentlemen, once again requesting everyone to kindly be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, kindly requesting everyone to be seated. Everyone to kindly take their seats with mobile phones put onto silent mode. We have been informed the Honorable Raksha Mantri will be leaving his office any moment now to arrive at the venue. We request everyone to kindly be seated.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your kind attention? We have just been informed the Honorable Raksha Mantri has left his office, will be arriving any moment now here at this venue. Once again requesting everyone to be seated. All mobile phones either switched off or put on to silent mode. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we will be expecting Shri Rajnath Singh Ji to join us any moment now. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly may I have your attention? Honorable Raksha Mantri will be joining us any moment now. Requesting everyone to be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Raksha Mantri has arrived, will be joining us in less than a minute on the stage. Once again requesting everybody to be seated and all mobile phones put on to silent mode. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly rise to welcome the Honorable Raksha Mantri, Shri Rajnath Singh Ji. I invite Honorable Defence Minister to kindly grace the stage with his esteemed presence. Please put your hands together to welcome the Honorable Raksha Mantri onto the stage. I also invite Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, Shri Sameer V. Kamath, Secretary R&D, Government of India, Shri Vijay Kumar Singh, IAS, Secretary ESW, Ministry of Defence, Government of India, Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor, Defence Services, Shri Praveen Kumar, IDAS, Additional CGDA, and Shri S.D. Dastidar, IDS, Additional CGDA. Namaskar and good morning. Honorable Chief Guest Shri Rajnath Singh Ji, Honorable Raksha Mantri, Honorable Defence Minister of India, eminent dignitaries on the stage, distinguished policy makers, academics and government functionaries in India and abroad, special invitees, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the inaugural session of the International Conference on Defence, Finance and Economics 2023, organized by the Ministry of Defence, Finance, Government of India. The conference is an attempt to engage in global narratives on defence, finance and economics, as well as to calibrate a sustainable blueprint for defence expenditure in India, with a view to exchange best practices and ideas in line with the fast-changing spectrum of security strategies and policies worldwide. This international conference on defence, finance and economics will cover in a period of 3 days a wide range of subjects like defence diplomacy, veteran welfare, defence production and acquisition, oversight mechanism, etc. And ladies and gentlemen, the august presence of Honorable Raksha Mantri and other esteemed dignitaries today at the inaugural session is a source of inspiration for all of us. And may I request the Honorable Raksha Mantri to kindly light the ceremonial lamp and formally inaugurate the International Conference on Defence, Finance and Economics. I also request our other illustrious dignitaries on the dais to kindly join the Honorable Raksha Mantri. And let's put our hands together on the ceremonial inauguration of this international conference. We thank the Honorable Raksha Mantri Ji for doing the honors. Thank you very much indeed, sir, for doing the honors. Ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Raksha Mantri Ji stated during a recent event that the defence industry is going to be the sunrise sector of Indian economy. Becoming a key sector of economy requires efficient management of financial resources and their optimum utilization within a robust financial planning framework. The Finance Division of the Ministry of Defence, dealing with the matters having financial implications in the Ministry of Defence, plays an important role in the efficient management of resources. The division is headed by Financial Advisor Defence Services. And I now have the proud privilege in inviting Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor Defence Services, Ministry of Defence, Government of India, to kindly deliver the welcome address. And ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome ma'am.
Honorable Defence Minister of India, Shri Rajnath Singh Ji, Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, Secretary Research and Development, Dr. Samir Kamath, Secretary Ex-Servicemen Welfare, Shri Vijay Kumar Singh, my colleagues, Additional CGDA Shri Praveen Kumar, and Additional CGDA Shri Ghosh Dasidar, distinguished speakers, participants from across the globe, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to each one of you who have taken out time and are here to participate in the International Conference on Defence, Finance and Economics 2023, which has been organized under the aegis of Ministry of Defence, Finance, Government of India. On this occasion, I would especially like to thank our Honorable Raksha Mantri Ji, the Defence Minister of India, for sparing his valuable time and being here with us despite not feeling too well. So this conference would not have been possible without your support, your guidance, your encouragement. Thank you so very much, sir. It is after a very long time that we are again organizing this conference, which we held some few years back. It also gives me immense happiness that we are hosting this conference at a time when our country is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav and commemorating 75 years of India's independence. And it's also the year of India's presidency in G20. I'm also happy to share that we have a large number of practitioners in the realm of defense and defense finance and economics from across the world who are here on this occasion, because of which we have amidst us a distinguished galaxy of speakers and participants from around 18 countries. Thank you, each one of you, for being here with us, and for those who are joining us through VC. An Athenian historian, while talking of finance being intrinsic to defense, has very aptly stated, and I would like to quote, that war is not so much a matter of armaments as it is of money, which make armaments effective. So let us first of all see to our finances. The same concept has been elucidated by Charles Davenant, the political economist, who also repeated the same and has stated, which I quote, "War is quite changed from what it was in the time of our forefathers, when the matter was only decided by courage. Now the whole art of war is dependent on money, for nowadays that prince who can best use money to feed, clothe, and equip his army, not he that has the most valiant troops, is surest of success and conquest." These statements underline the cruciality of finance in achieving defense preparedness. It is because of finance that security policy makers across the globe eternally encounter the dilemma of guns versus butter model of economics. How much is more? The question becomes very critical, especially when the resources are limited and there are more existential issues to address. It is here that defense finance and economic comes in. Defense economics, as we understand, is all about optimal allocation of resources for achieving the highest level of warfare, wherein conscious optimization is the underlying principle. However, managing optimum utilization of defense allocation and making the most cost-effective choices while strengthening the defense capability is a challenge for all the higher echelons and the policymakers. Now, the conference here seeks to engage with the best in the world in order to understand the global narrative on defense expenditure, and at the same time, we are trying to calibrate a sustainable blueprint for defense expenditure in India. Now, the conference will specifically address issues relating to defense budgeting and planning and efficient and optimal resource management within a robust financial planning framework. With this end in view, as was mentioned by the compere, we have 8 business sessions which will be organized and will cover several contemporary issues which range from strategy for optimal resource allocation, defense acquisition, to oversight mechanism. All of you are aware that in the recent years, major reforms have been taken by the Government of India in order to reduce import of military equipment, and the clarion call of Atmanirbhar Bharat has been given by the Honorable Prime Minister, which has stimulated not the various sectors in the government, including defense. Our armed forces are not far behind. They are aggressively marching ahead to create a self-reliant defense ecosystem, and they are working on the Make in India initiative, along with the private sector, the MSMEs, the academia, and the R&D labs across the country. Some of you would be aware that the government has also earmarked around 25% of the defense R&D budget, which will be utilized by the private sector and who can now work on crucial elements of design and development which are meant for the defense sector. Now, this self-sufficiency will not only boost our industry, it will also help us tide to the supply chain disruptions. Now, as India looks forward to join the league of 4 big economies, self-sufficiency will indeed be an important cogwheel in the juggernaut of development. And that's what we are here for, to work out. The conference sessions are dedicated to sessions for Atmanirbharta and how to handle cost-efficient procurement from within the country, and also the defense supply chain management, how it is being handled by other countries. Apart from this, defense manpower optimization will be an issue which will be discussed during the seminar. We are all aware that world over, manpower spending continues to corner a major chunk of the defense expenditure, thereby shrinking the physical space which is available for modernization. But at the same time, we are also aware that because of the multiple threats, we require manpower-dense armies on several occasions. So it is extremely important to acquire that calibrated balance, which is between a force which is lean and agile and yet retains its lethality and combat capability. As India implements the Agniveer scheme, which is about the short-term enlistment of the non-commissioned officers, we could very well draw from the countries who have benefited from manpower optimization, which has been achieved through short-term enlistments in various countries. And we expect some very interesting discussions on this, and we have some very good speakers about this. Then the conference will not only dwell on the challenges of, will also dwell on the challenges of funding veteran welfare. In a book which is titled Hard Look of Hard Power, the author underlines the fact that spending in the Indian defense realm is dominated by revenue expenditure, where costs are neither, they don't create assets and neither they reduce liabilities. Now, acknowledging the fact that the veterans have given their best years of their lives to the nation, we need to discuss the dynamics of how we fund veteran welfare without compromising the operational and sustenance needs of the armed forces. We have a very interesting session on this, and we have speakers who are domain experts in this area. Now, we are also aware that armies across the world are known for their discipline and regimented lifestyle, but sustaining fiscal discipline within the defense architecture has its challenges and becomes a critical task for our senior defense echelons. It therefore becomes necessary to carefully monitor and utilize the defense budget so that it is spent without any leakage and it is on priorities which have been assigned to the defense. Now, for this, it is not only important that we assess the fiscal risk through various fiscal risks which are the various organizations are exposed to. It is also important that we give importance to the audit findings and they are given due attention and corrective action is taken to mitigate these risks. So bolstering up oversight and audit mechanism has been also chosen as an area which will be discussed during the conference. Now, finally, we have a session on defense diplomacy, wherein all countries, including India, seek to deepen economic and security cooperation with friendly foreign countries. So here I would be happy to share that export of Indian manufactured military hardware has increased manifold. Six-fold increase has taken place from 2017 to 2021. And we look forward to some ideas to give a further fillip to our export trajectory. And that is when we have also met our own domestic demands and how we can cater to the demands of the friendly foreign countries. Now, to sum up, I would like to state that the conference aims to bring together the distinguished domain experts in the field of defense finance and economics, both from India and abroad, with a view to exchange and understand the best practices which are available there, the experiences they have, and the expertise they have, and so that we can benchmark our processes to international standards wherever need be. And last but not the least, sir, we also expect that we would set the stage for collaborations with international institutions, with foreign governments and global leaders in the space of defense finance and economics, so that we can bolster the government initiative on indigenization and self-reliance in defense, which is in line with the agenda of Vision 2047 of the government and G20. Once again, on behalf of the Ministry of Defense Finance, I extend a very warm welcome to all the participant delegates who have joined us today, and all the think tanks who are also here. They are represented in large numbers and will participate in deliberations. And we expect to have very good discussions, and I hope we have a memorable experience, and you also go back with a very good impression about what has happened in this conference. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much indeed, ma'am, for the insightful address, your warm words of welcome, and setting the context for the next 3 days of this international conference. And ladies and gentlemen, we now present before you a short video on the Ministry of Defense Finance and the Defense Accounts Department.
Finance Division in the Ministry of Defense, abbreviated as MOD Finance, is at the locus of all decisions having any financial implication and coordinates the expenditure management of India's defense budget and finance. MOD Finance is responsible for providing professional and holistic financial advice in all defense matters having a financial bearing. Acting as the integrated finance for Ministry of Defense, it assists in the formulation and implementation of all proposals involving expenditure of the armed forces and associated organizations across India, such as the DRDO, Indian Coast Guard and the Border Roads Organization. The Defense Accounts Department functions under the administrative control of Ministry of Defense Finance and is headed by Controller General of Defense Accounts or CGDA. Various field offices of the CGDA such as the Controllers of Defense Accounts and Integrated Financial Advisors and Pay and Accounts Offices conduct the internal audit, payment and accounting and provide financial advice to various units and formations under the Ministry of Defense across India. The Defense Accounts Department is also responsible for SPERSH, the System for Pension Administration Raksha, which is one of the world's largest web-based defense pensions management systems and currently caters to over 2.1 million defense pensioners.
मित्रों, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ डिफेंस फाइनेंस तथा सीजीडीए का डिफेंस सर्विसेज इस सभी फाइनेंशियल गतिविधियों में इन्वॉल्वमेंट रहता है। इसलिए मैं खास तौर पर यह बताना चाहता हूं कि डिपार्टमेंट ने जिस हार्मनी तथा सिनर्जी के साथ सर्विसेज की बदलती जरूरतों को पूरा करने में अपनी एफिशिएंसी, अपनी सक्षमता हासिल की है तथा नई चुनौतियों का सामना करने के लिए विलिंगनेस तथा रेडीनेस को प्रदर्शित किया है, उसकी मैं जितनी भी सराहना करूं वह कम है।
Through enhanced budgetary support over the years, the government has placed modernization and infrastructure development of the armed forces at the center stage of the national security and defense planning process. Towards that end, strategic and operational outlay has been increased significantly in the Union budget of 2023-24 by nearly 44%, and this expenditure is expected to close critical gaps in the combat capabilities and equip the forces in terms of ammunition, sustenance of weapons and assets, military reserves, and more. This budget has also sustained the thrust on Atmanirbhar Bharat and Make in India by continuing an upward trend in capital outlay. MOD Finance is driving towards the optimization of available resources by generating fiscal space within existing budgetary allocations through jointness, inter-service prioritization and emphasis on holistic defense planning. 5.94 lakh crore rupees or 72.54 billion US dollars. This is the defense budget of India, which is being managed by the Ministry of Defense Finance through the Defense Accounts Department. Every dollar securing a vibrant nation, every rupee building a foundation for an aspirational India. The Ministry of Defense Finance remains committed to a common goal of a strong nation with an equal emphasis on weapon and welfare. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have amongst us today Honorable Raksha Mantri, the Honorable Defense Minister, Shri Rajnath Singh Ji. The Honorable RM has time and again reaffirmed India's stand for a rule-based international order in which the primordial instinct of the might being right is replaced by the civilizational concept of fairness, cooperation, respect, and equality amongst all sovereign nations. And this international conference is one such initiative in fostering cooperation amongst nations. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the proud privilege of requesting the Honorable Raksha Mantri to kindly guide us with his inspirational address. And let's once again put our hands together to welcome him.
Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey, Secretary ESW, Shri Vijay Kumar Singh, Dr. Samir V. Kamath, Secretary DRDO, Mrs. Rashka Chaube, Financial Advisor, Sri S.G. Dastidar, additional CGDA, distinguished policymakers, academics and government functionaries from India and abroad, friends from media, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me immense pleasure to inaugurate the International Conference on Defense Finance and Economics being held under the aegis of MOD Finance. The modern era, contradistinct from earlier ages, is the age of nation-states. The nation-states perform many indispensable functions, including ensure security, make provision for the welfare of the community, promote socio-economic development, and so on. Of all these functions, ensuring security of the populace from external aggression and internal disruptions is the most primal function of the state. Whatever be the political system in the state, be it monarchy or oligarchy or democracy, the responsibility of security lies with the states. As I have mentioned on earlier occasions also, though the security in itself an irreducible objective, there is an instrumental aspect of security as well. It is that the full potential of society's development can be realized only when it is secure from external and internal threats. Taking the argument further to its logical conclusion, we clearly see that security is the bedrock on which the prosperity, arts, and culture of any society flourish and prosper. Friends, security is broadly categorized into internal security and external security. The responsibility of external security lies principally with the defense forces of the country, and however, defense forces require a superstructure of defense ecosystem involving research and development organization, defense production industry, soldier welfare organizations, etc. The defense forces, apart from such a superstructure, require a well-funded system with a robust defense finance architecture to ensure the optimum utilization of the financial resources of the nation. That is, strong defense forces require the backing of a robust defense finance system. The history attests to what I just said. Defense finance has always been an integral part of statecraft, even 2,000 to 3,000 years earlier. Arthashastra, the ancient Indian treatise on statecraft, mentions army's dependence on a strong finance for its upkeep. In the times of Chandragupta Maurya and Ashoka, massive standing armies were maintained. It intrigued me that how their finances were being managed at that time. All I can say is that their system of defense finance must have been very efficient. Friends, while we are still talking about historical facts, let me point out to you something more about the epoch-defining significance of the system of defense finance. Such was the importance of defense finance that when the system of funding of armed forces changed, entire era of human society got changed. One of the most important things that differentiate the medieval era from the modern era is the structure of the armed forces and the mode of their funding. In the medieval era, the armed forces were mostly maintained by the feudal lords and mode of funding was decentralized, though a system of land revenue grants to the feudal lords. The concept of a large standing army being kept exclusively by the central government was achieved in the modern era when the funding of armed forces got centralized. My dear friends, such is the power and impact of defense finance. When I was told about this conference on defense finance and economics, I noted that the subject is not limited to defense finance only. Rather, it has been expanded by including economics into it. Economics, as we all know, is the study of scarcity and its implications for the use of resources, production of goods and services, growth of production and welfare over time, and a great variety of other complex issues of vital concern to society. I think addition of this word has given much wider dimensions to the discussions in this gathering. I think defense economics can present a useful way of looking at the defense-related issues from the perspective of efficient allocation and use of scarce resources. Friends, defense system requires money, and the money spent on defense has an opportunity cost attached to it. The classical definition of the opportunity cost can be simplified to say that it is the value of the benefit foregone or the value of the alternative uses to which the money could have been deployed. The funds which are deployed for the defense requirements could otherwise be deployed for development, welfare, poverty alleviation, creation of social infrastructure, etc. All these are worthy alternative uses which are constrained to pay for the defense ecosystem. With such sacrifices being made, it is imperative that we use the money allocated to the defense needs in the most judicious manner possible. Friends, this background will make us understand the following observations from across the world. Wherever there is a mature state system, a legal and procedural defense finance framework is already built in to ensure prudent management of the defense expenditure. This ensures that the defense spending is well within the allocated budget and the full value of money is realized. Such defense finance framework includes expenditure control as per guidelines, financial advice by professionals, audit, payment, authentication mechanism, etc. I have been told that there are studies that the corruption and waste in the defense expenditure is greatly reduced by a robust system of defense finance. Friends, if we look at the defense economics perspective, we will be immediately realize that it is very difficult to apply the economic concept of full value of money in the realm of defense expenditure. This is because in defense sector, there is no visible revenue stream and also no easily identifiable beneficiaries. Rather, the benefits are too abstract, uncertain, and non-quantifiable. For example, whether the acquisition of a defense equipment has resulted in the envisaged deterrence against the enemy and has enhanced security for the people would be very difficult to quantitatively assess in monetary terms. Friends, having said that, I want to emphasize here that difficult is not the same thing as impossible. We can always try to devise intelligent ways towards maximizing the value of money spent on defense needs. For instance, in the case of procurement of defense platforms or equipment, either under capital or revenue route, the gold standard of open tender should be adopted to the extent possible. A competitive bid-based procurement process which is open to all is the best possible way to realize the full value of the public money being spent. Of course, there would be some rare cases when it may not be possible to go for open tender process. However, such instances would come under exceptions, and exceptions should not become the rule. The rule of competitive bidding through open tender must be followed in the domain of defense procurement. Friends, to have a fair, transparent, and honest system of defense capital and revenue procurements, we must have comprehensive blue books codifying the rules and procedures of procurement of defense equipment and systems. In our case, we have formulated such blue books in the form of Defense Acquisition Procedure DAP 2020 for capital acquisition and Defense Procurement Manual DPM for revenue procurement and delegation of financial powers to defense services. These provide rules and guidelines as well as procedures for capital and revenue procurement. These manuals play a very important role in ensuring that process of defense procurement is rule-bound and follows the principles of financial propriety. Since these manuals are also critical, they need to be carefully crafted by defense finance and procurement experts in consultation with all the stakeholders. And this needs to be a continuous exercise so that these documents are dynamically updated, incorporating new rules and procedures as and when required. Friends, along with such procurement manuals for the defense sector, the role of expert financial advice to the service personnel in the day-to-day financial matters is also very significant. Generally, the domain experts of defense may not be having detailed financial knowledge or expertise. That is why the system of integrated financial advisor, IFA, has been created who can provide dispassionate and sound financial advice to the competent financial authority, CFA. This is beneficial to the CFAs as it helps them in avoiding the wastage of public money. In this system, the IFA and the CFA work as a team, sailing in the same boat, working towards utilizing public money in a prudent manner. When I am talking about financial prudence here, I mean the financial prudence shown by a person of ordinary intellect towards his or her own money. Friends, even after following all the principles of financial prudence and propriety, there would be instances of wastages, pilferages, and even corruption. That is why a robust system of internal and external audit needs to be put in place. The role of auditors is that of a watchdog or a sentinel. In India, the external audit is done by the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. An independent internal audit mechanism is also a part of the defense finance system in India. Similarly, there should be a sound system of accounting, passing of bills and payment, salary and pension dispersal, etc., as it frees our defense personnel to concentrate on their core jobs. When the functions of defense finance are separated from the core defense organizations, it has multiple advantages. The chances of leakages, corruption, wastages are reduced. A positive public opinion is generated when there is a justified confidence that public money is being spent optimally and prudently. With greater public trust and confidence in the system of defense expenditure, the defense system benefits overall as the chances of greater funding by legislature increases pari passu. I have spoken about the full value of the public money being spent in the defense domain. The financial advice to be based on sound economic analysis, internal audit, payment and accounting, etc. If I may comprehensively sum up the things I have spoken about so far, the central idea is that defense establishments like Army, Navy, Air Force, defense research organizations, etc., required a specialized agency which is dedicated to defense, finance, and economics. In India, this work is being done very competently by the Defense Accounts Department under the leadership of the Financial Advisor, Defense Services, Mrs. Vasika Chaube. To our international delegates, I have to put forth the idea of shared security. In the spirit of collective security of the whole world as one family, we are all partners in the path towards a secure and prosperous future for the entire humankind. We believe that we have a lot to learn from our experiences in the field of the defense finance and economics, and we are ready to share our learning with you all. Friends, I want to take a moment here to appreciate the efforts put in by the FADS and the Defense Accounts Department for conceptualizing and organizing this international seminar. I hope that this international conference on defense, finance, and economics will provide the participants with a platform where they would be able to acquire a better understanding of global trends in the process of defense expenditure and learn from each other. I thank our guests from across the seas and across the borders for joining us. I am sure we will be enriched by your presence and hope that you will enjoy the Indian hospitality. My best wishes for the seminar. With these few words, Jai Hind to all.
Thank you very much indeed, sir, for your motivation and guidance. We will endeavor to follow all your directives given to us. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I would request Srimati Rasika Chaube, Financial Advisor, Defence Services, to kindly do the honours of presenting a token of our gratitude to the Honourable Raksha Mantri. Ladies and gentlemen, we once again thank the Honourable Raksha Mantri ji for kindly sparing his valuable time and gracing this occasion. I would request you, ma'am, to kindly present a token of gratitude to Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan. Thank you very much indeed, sir, for being here with us. Thank you, ma'am. I would now request Sri Praveen Kumar, Additional CGDA, to kindly felicitate Chief of Army Staff, General Manoj Pandey. I would request you, sir, to kindly felicitate Sri Vijay Kumar Singh, Secretary, Department of Ex-Servicemen Welfare, Ministry of Defence. Thank you, sir. I would once again request Srimati Rasika Chaube to kindly felicitate Dr. Samir B. Kamath, Secretary R&D, Government of India. Thank you, ma'am. And may I now invite Sri Praveen Kumar, Additional CGDA, to bring the inaugural session to conclusion with words of thanks.
Honorable Raksha Mantri Sri Rajnath Singh ji and dignitaries seated on the dais, eminent panelists, speakers, international delegates, distinguished guests from the armed forces, various ministries, media representatives, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the Ministry of Defence Finance and the Defence Accounts Department, I express my heartfelt gratitude to the Honorable Raksha Mantri ji for having spared his valuable time to inaugurate this international conference and sharing his thoughts. Sir, your views and advice today will guide us during the conference and beyond. I would also like to extend our thanks to the CDS, General Anil Chauhan, General Manoj Pandey, Chief of Army Staff, for kindly gracing the occasion. My sincere thanks to Sri Vijay Singh, Secretary ESW, and Dr. S.V. Kamath, Secretary DRDO, for their gracious presence at the inaugural function. I would also like to thank other senior officers from the Ministry of Defence and the Armed Forces and other ministries for their presence today. A special thank you is conveyed to FADS Mrs. Rasika Chaube for being the inspiration behind this conference. Her vision, guidance, and constant encouragement have enabled the event. I would like to thank our field controllers and financial advisors for their efforts and inputs as coordinators in planning the business sessions. An event of this scale cannot take shape without painstaking efforts and untiring resolve. I would like to extend our warmest appreciation to the officers in the Ministry of Defence, Defence Accounts Headquarters, and field offices for their commitment and dedication in organizing this conference and today's inaugural function. I thank all the international speakers and delegates for their presence here today and look forward to their valued participation in this conference, which will hopefully serve as a catalyst for greater collaboration between policymakers, academics, and experts to address various issues in the field of defense finance and economics. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much indeed, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the conclusion of the inaugural session, I would request everybody to kindly remain seated while I request the liaison officers to escort our distinguished keynote speakers and eminent panelists outside to the group photograph area, which is at the reception foyer. All the dignitaries to be escorted out first. Everybody else to kindly remain seated. And I would now request the Honorable Raksha Mantri ji to kindly be escorted towards the reception foyer for the group photograph. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being patient. I now invite everyone to kindly join us for lunch. Lunch is served at the Friendship Lounge, which is right opposite this hall. And ladies and gentlemen, the next session will commence at 14:30 hours. I would request everybody to be seated by 14:15 inside this hall. Thank you very much indeed. Please enjoy your lunch and be back in time.